In a ballroom, a woman removes her wedding ring, which appeals to a noticing man to advance and start a romantic relationship. She reveals to him that she's unhappy in marriage and that she's quitting, which is still good news to this man who has just desired her. Then comes in a strange-looking man with a well-built body, who proves to be the husband to the woman. The man in romance fears that this giant husband might beat him up for encroaching on his wife, but instead the husband pours words of brokenness to his departing wife, who sits beside her new man and leaves them in peace. As if nothing has happened, the two enjoy more whiskeys until night when they proceed quietly to a hotel room to crown it all with life's sweet wine, lovemaking. Unfortunately or fortunately, in the hotel room, the dating man fails to embrace the beautiful woman who was ready for lovemaking.
It's one of the shortest songs you'll listen to, but it has the most profound meaning. It will live with you. It is a masterpiece, the song, at a number of levels. As a writer, it spoke to me really deeply. The song was context in a normal setting of broken human beings, which we all are, in one way or the other. So it is a song that is context in a domestic environment of sorts that of course extends to the bar and to the hotel room and beyond. But one thing I loved about the song is how it captures the human condition. This song paints a picture of a home that is disintegrating. It paints a picture of a heart that is breaking. It paints a picture of children that are going to grow without their mother. It's also a song that paints the picture of a human soul, especially at a point where a relationship is ending, at a point where someone gives up on a certain direction and takes another direction of life. It paints a picture of someone who is pursuing who doesn't want to give up on their dreams, but want to sacrifice everything and pursue that sometimes whimsical dream that they have. So it's a song that describes us as human beings, with our frailties, with our broken dreams. But it's also a song that speaks of life the way it is, as we know it. These are the story in Ken Rogers' song Lucille is a story that has happened over and over and over again in multiple communities, in multiple societies. It has happened to people, it will continue to happen to people. It is really thick with art, and that thickness is beautiful. This is one of the most eye-opening and really profoundly moving song that I've ever listened to. I've listened to a couple, but it's art. It's a masterpiece of a song at so many levels, even at the lyrical level. The choice of words, the simplicity of the words he used to communicate something very profound, yet he used simple words. He mentions the place. He starts with a place in a bar room in Toledo. It's the lyrical flow, the lyrical play is beautiful. Simplicity. So I love the song.
The song has two quotes of wife and husband. The wife Lucille says she's not a quitter, but the husband emphasizes that she's quitting, leaving 4 children behind. Isn't Lucille a quitter then?
This lady had suffered not once, not twice, but several times. The lady used to live with a kind of burden. She has been carrying this burden up to almost 5 years or 6. Because if she left the husband with 4 children, if all those children are theirs, it means the minimum time that they spend together is 5 years. Had she been a quitter, she could have quit before. She could have left her husband with maybe 2 children or 3. But she was patient. She went on.
This was a marriage that was going through strife, some sort of domestic strife. The wife, of course, she mentions that I'm hungry for laughter. You see, she was in pursuit of a wing, of a dream, you know, and she clearly saw this marriage was not giving her that. So she was in pursuit of her happiness, her freedom. There's something I call vision fusion. Like before you get married to someone, your visions have to fuse, you know. Your visions have to align, and then it becomes one, and then you can continue in one direction. So it looks like there was this crisis in the vision fusion. This man had a dream of maybe a family and starting a home and everything, and the woman, not saying that she didn't want this particular dream, or she didn't want the idea of a family, she wouldn't have gone into one. I think she wasn't facilitated enough. Maybe he didn't take time to communicate the vision very well with the wife. But also, it seems her dreams were not fertilized, were not watered by what this life was offering. That's why it was easy for her to sacrifice everything.
One of the major reasons for the divorce between the beautiful woman and the hard-working man in the world of the song is lack of a little talk to explore each other.
This woman was very, very hurting because she told Ken Rogers, like, I'm hungry for laughter. Instead of telling the husband, she should have told the husband, like, I'm dreaming of this, I dreamt about this, I want this. If the man had some issue, she could have said, hey, it's you, yeah, you know. But she kept quiet. And the man so much keeping quiet. Maybe he thought, let me give her space. She will come back home. Maybe she was expecting, you know, there's a way you expect a person to do things without even telling that person. You were expecting me to take you to the cinema, but you don't tell me that you want to go to the cinema. And me, I will take you to the bar thinking like you want to go to the bar. And then you keep that things inside you, like I want to go to the cinema, but he's taking me to the bar. And then next time you want to go to the cinema, he's taking you like he was just organizing a dinner, and yet you still want to go to the cinema. The man was trying like to make her look beautiful. They had 4 kids. So he was very busy, could not get time to always go out with the wife. Maybe he was very busy trying to bring food to the table, like trying to support the family, trying to make even his wife look beautiful as she was looking beautiful. So I think the issue of hungry for laughter, I think it was an issue of this woman just to open up and tell the husband, this is what I want. So this was an issue of husband and wife sitting together and say that, what are we hungry for? Because some people think like you're giving the woman, you give her money, you give her cars, you give her everything she wants, that is enough. And yet she's hungry for laughter, she's hungry for love. Maybe her emotion side is not, you know, she's not okay. She's tired of everything you are giving her.
The husband reminds the wife who is hungry for laughter that she's leaving 4 children behind and crops in the field. Are children really hungry amidst plenty of food?
They are not hungry for food because there is a crops in the field. They were not hungry for food. Maybe they were hungry for laughter. They were hungry for love, just like the woman. And this woman could just look at the kids, say, your father has gone. He's busy, doesn't give me time. So why are you expecting me to give you time? So the kids were very also hungry because we cannot say the kids are hungry. Yeah, the food, yeah, the crops is in the field.
Many men are infamous for abandoning children and wives, but in Ken Rogers' Lucille, children are placed in the hands of the man.
I am not worried about Lucille's children she's leaving behind, because I have no doubt that this man will really toil for them. He's a man that is battle hardened for survival. He will struggle. Of course, he will be with a broken heart. Maybe he was in love with this woman, but he will not give up on those 4 children. Now, we know there are many men who have given up on their families, and actually it's the women who have taken care and raised those children. So, but I want to appeal to men to understand their place in their children's lives. It is irreplaceable. A woman your wife can be rich, responsible, motherly, but she can't take your place. Your place was given to you by God. Headship is a divine mandate given to a man. No circumstance can replace that. No replacement is there for that. So be present in your children's lives, and whatever life throws at you, just seek. This is a man who is collected, but like Ken Rogers described, this is a man whose heart was breaking. Today, what do men do when their hearts are breaking? They try to hold on to their egos. They try to resist that. They try to fight back in one way or the other. They do unspeakable things. They do horrific things. Men have done horrific things to their wives, to their children, because they failed to be men enough to not cling on to their ego, even when something has like completely challenged it. So that is a struggle for many men. We all struggle with our egos, but I learned from this man that no matter what, you shouldn't change who you are, even faced with a situation as emotionally challenging as losing your wife, and seeing the man, the opportunist, who is there like a vulture waiting to clutch onto onto the love of your life. So, but he didn't do that. He didn't even insult the man. He just spoke to the wife a few words, and he was brave enough to really show his weakness, to show that he's been broken, he's heartbroken.
The position Ken Rogers plays in the song puts him in a place of condemnation for not saving the couple from separating. He's a double dealer between the two troubled husband and wife.
So in this whole story, Ken Rogers, let me say, like, he was the one holding the chains of uniting this couple, because he had already had the heart of the woman, and also he had listened to the words of the husband. So he took advantage of the woman with an emotional issues and tried to give her attention, and again not let me say, like, not even helping. When we see the last story, Ken Rogers did not even solve her issue, not even tell her to go back to her husband.
We are supposed to be our brother's keeper, but now we see another man taking advantage of another man's brokenness to feel to mend, to satisfy some lust, some urges in his body, in his flesh, which is irrational.
However, The surprise of a beautiful woman just like Lucille was irresistible to a bar-goer Ken Rogers played in the song. Things were flowing swiftly to his favor in a way he and any other man who was in a bar could not control immediately.
Of course, he didn't expect maybe this is what will play out, the man will come. He just saw an opportunity. He made an extension by reaching out to her, and she saw things were flowing. And this is also relatable to many of the men in our society today, who even leave their wives at home and children and go to lounge in some fancy places, and they even blow a lot of money because we see him buying more whiskey. This song is a mirror even of our society today, because there are many men like that who find someone in the bar and take them in a hotel room and indulge with them without. Of course, it's a reckless decision someone takes, but it's a mirror of our society.
The last part of the story starts with the new couple, Lucille and Ken Rogers, heading to a hotel room to make love. But remember, they walk without talking at all. Why?
Man and woman, heading to the hotel. Of course, you can imagine what was going to happen from there. So when they were going, no one was talking to each other. But it seemed like this woman kept on thinking about what the man told her. Like maybe she was thinking twice. So now this time I'm meeting this man, and let me just take advantage. But again, my husband, she was a mother to 4 kids. Of course, her heart was still there. That's why she was not saying anything. Thinking twice, what am I going to do? Is it really something that I had to do? So I think that was what was going on in those 2 people's mind.
At last, the story reaches the pinnacle. From the lights of the bar room where they enjoyed whiskeys to a rented hotel room, it's expected that the new couple is going to crown it all with life's sweet wine, lovemaking, probably throughout the night.
As he was nearing what his flesh wanted, we see his soul speaking to him. We see something in him repulsing the situation. We see some sobriety taking over finally. We see him remembering the words of the man, saying, as she came to me, I couldn't hold her because I kept remembering the words that he told her. So that is a powerful moment in that song, which men, of course, and women should go back to.
She was a beauty, but when she came to me, she must have thought I lost my mind. I couldn't hold her because the words that he told her kept coming back time after time. There are 2 important things in the last line which we come to know for the first time in the whole story. The woman is beautiful, and the woman is coming to Ken Rogers. This is evidence that the woman had done something extraordinary which made Ken Rogers realize her beauty for the first time in the song. Drawing the picture, the woman was either naked or changed to dishabille and came to him as a final act of accepting to make love with him. While some may regard Ken Rogers' refusal of sleeping with the woman who was ready as an act of valor and faithfulness, the woman was psychologically tortured and might have not survived the depression that came with such resentment.
Let me see myself in the room with the man, waiting, expecting something to happen, even ready to sleep with him. This woman went and she was preparing herself as someone who is with the man in the hotel, and then the man for him was still thinking. Those words kept on. So now when you see the way story is, after the woman is in the room with him and not telling her anything, maybe was just playing her, she was very disappointed, even than it was when she left her house. You know, being disappointed with a person that you have opened up to, the person that you have poured out your heart to him, thinking this person is going to help me, and then again this person has seen your nakedness and left you there. So now you can imagine how Ken Rogers left this woman feeling.
If Ken Rogers wanted to be faithful at that point, he should have fulfilled what he had agreed with the woman, and then after talk to her amicably.
If he wanted this couple to be together again, he could have talked to the man at least and be like, hey man, your wife is hungry for laughter. And again, if he was very faithful at that time, he could have talked to the woman and say, like, you know, though we are together in this room, I think you need to go back to your husband.
The composer of the song is the creator of all people who appear in the song and decides how to present them before their audience. The only woman in the song, Lucille, is given a few words to say, while the husband is given more words, and his words are favored to be the chorus, repeated over 3 times in the song. This structure of the song and the fact that the songwriters, the singer, and the husband in the song are men all come together to oppress feminist ideas in this song. This may account for the weakness of Lucille's decision to leave the man. It is only seen as emotional, as just being hungry for laughter, which isn't really enough to make a mother leave her 4 children.
This song disappointed me. The man who wrote the song, the singer, is also a man, and one of the characters, the man who was talked about in the song, all of them are like they colluded in one thing to fight a weak lady or a weak woman whom they could have maybe supported or fail to overcome the challenges that she was going through.
There's a lot to explore in the song. For example, the use of many prepositions and adverbs, such as in a bar room, in Toledo, across from the depot, on a bus stool, I thought I would get closer, so I walked on over, and many more.